What a journey it's been for ZSMJ of Vici Gaming. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, he was one of the key members, if not the member, of LGD China. Since then, much has changed. He'll be matching up against his former teammates from that LGD team. They spread to the winds, while really most of his teammates moved to Invictus Gaming. There were two squads at one time, IGZ and IGY, but they're now united under one banner. The best of the best, the juggernauts from China, Invictus Gaming, making their debut today in the Dota 2 Super League. I'm LD Beyond the Summit. I'm joined by Luminous, who was one of the very few casters actually casting back when ZSMJ was in his heyday of the English scene. Lumi, are you ready for this?
Don't get me started with the SMJ in this heyday. I am so glad to be casting Vici Gaming. Not only is the SMJ going to be doing a ton of work, I hope today, CT-wise also has some rivalry with 430. As you guys know, both of these players enter in the Dota 1v1 tournament back in China, and it was CTY that came out victoriously in the 1v1 over 430. So there's definitely some bad blood going on, I imagine, and this should be a best of three, a great one.
If not bad blood, then certainly CTY's got to have a little smirk on his face. Now, as I understand it, they didn't actually play each other in that event, but they both competed in the tournament, and CTY won it. So he's certainly got some bragging rights. With that being said, Vici Gaming enters this match on a bit of a hot streak. They're currently 2-0 in the Dota 2 Super League, having taken down having taken down LGD China as well as 4Love. They looked really dominating against LGD Gaming, who looked a bit shaky in their own right. Not really the LGD we're accustomed to seeing. Against 4Love, Vici Gaming, not quite so crisp, not quite so polished, but they got the W, and at the end of the day, that's what you're most concerned about. This is, of course, Perfect World's 1 million RMB, aka 160,000 and change in US dollars in terms of prize pool. The biggest Dota 2 event when it comes to prize pool outside of the International 2013. So with that being said, I guess we're having a bit of a speed draft. Lumi, walk us through it.
Yeah, man, while you were talking about that, I was very surprised to see a Wisp being banned on the first day. It seems like the Chinese are really catching up on the power of this hero, both offensively and defensively. I was sure that Invictus Gaming, because Batrider was left in the pool, that they would be first picking up, but instead they're going to go with the Lifestealer, a tried and true hero, and that means that Vici Gaming will be picking up both Batrider and Shadow Demon, who is, in the Chinese opinion, to be the top tier support over Rubik, over Lina, Jakira, whatever insert slash support here, over Nyx Assassin. Shadow Demon is generally the hero that ekes through the pick and ban phase, or the first ban phase, and gets picked up very early. So I'm not too sure who exactly has advantage here, because Invictus Gaming used Lifestealer so well. And don't quote me as Bruno statistics here, but I have never actually seen Invictus Gaming drop a single game when they have Lifestealer. You can quote me on that, though.
And it's interesting to see who's going to be played it as well. We've seen YYF play it. We've seen Zhou play it. They are versatile not only with the hero picks, but also with how they lane them. And, well, this one's not so hard to figure out. They're going to go for the 430 Queen of Pain, and that'll be headed mid lane. Almost certainly. So if it's not, I'll eat my hat. But with that being said, IG going for a pretty aggressive and well-rounded draft to start this off. A very gank-oriented lineup, and they're doing it against a pretty strong defensive squad with Batrider and Shadow Demon. Invictus Gaming, I wouldn't quite say face rush, but it has a flavor of that to it. These are heroes that want to dive you under your tower, kill you under your tower, and then with some edict damage, kill the tower.
Yep, and also with the Lifestealer opening right here for Invictus Gaming, it really forces Vici's Gaming handle in terms of the second ban phase as well as the second pick phase. You cannot pick Lone Druid right now, because we've seen in the past where you match up Zoe 1v1 Lifestealer versus Lone Druid, and the Lone Druid just get completely dominated because Feast will allow Lifestealer to basically get free heal anytime he wants off by attacking the bear. So Vici Gaming cannot pick Lone Druid because the disadvantage matchup, and they basically have to ban Lone Druid because in the past Invictus Gaming like to go with the Lifestealer, Lone Druid, and throw a Chen on top. That combo is just so hard to stop. And I gotta say, this Lifestealer first opening a pick blew my mind a little bit, but it's drafting-wise, it was working out beautifully so far.
And they'll go back for the anti-mage for ZSMJ, which frankly isn't really the strongest laning carry. Hard to kill, yes, but great at controlling the tri-lane, not so much. So they pick into a hero that really can have his woes versus a Lifestealer, Leshrac +1. Anti-mage is not going to bring the same potent offense to the lane that a hero like Lifestealer or Leshrac can. So Vici Gaming, they go defensive with this pick, like you said. Lone Druid maybe not an option for them. They haven't banned it yet, though. They'll start off their bans with a Sky Wrath Mage. That silence so good for killing a hero like Anti-Mage from full HP to none. It lasts forever and a day. If IG wanted to run it, it would be as a support, but they already have a Leshrac, and he does have a bit of a slow, so Sky Wrath can function as a decent tri-lane support. Plus, you already have open wounds to initiate. So it's a little bit unorthodox orthodox. Obviously, IG must have been running this hero, or Vici Gaming has been playing against it and not liking how it tastes. A bit unusual, but you can see how the ban makes sense.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit kind of a ban towards the practice that they have had, or rumors of Invictus Gaming playing it. I mean, if they really want to run a farming Skywrath Mage, they can. They go offensive trialing with a Lifesteal of the Shrek, with another support, and then you have Queen of Pain on one lane and Skywrath Mage on the other, on the safe lanes, if you will. So that could be possible, but since it's banned, we're not going to talk too much about it. Magnus making it into the second ban phase. This is completely unheard of. And so there is Rubik as well being banned up here by Vici Gaming. Invictus Gaming, they're looking for a Chen, they're looking for a Lone Druid, and so far Vici Gaming doesn't really care about it so far, and I'm not sure whether I agree with the decision.
Let's see where they go. They certainly have the option to take it. I'd be a little surprised if they don't when you have a player like Zhou, and that's also a hero that could do reasonably well against a Batrider in lane. Assuming this is an off-lane Batrider, it could of course go towards mid. That depends a lot on what Vici Gaming picks the rest of the way, but right now, I see Invictus Gaming banning heroes that are good at counter-initiating, the strong solos as well. The Darkseer, the Mag, they don't want to dive a tower and then eat an RP, or have a Darkseer surge an ally away. They don't want him to chase you down with Ion Shell. So I think these bans make a lot of sense, and it will allow Invictus Gaming to just fuel the aggression. They want to discourage Vici Gaming as much as possible from turtling and 5-manning later on and play defensively and getting rid of really the best turtlers in the business as far as those AoE melee initiators go. This is a good way to go about it. Plus, Vici Gaming needs solos, so I think on all counts, smart bans, and they will ban that Chen you kept on mentioning, but Lone Druid, he's available.
Well, Lone Druid as well as Enchantress if Invictus Gaming want to go that route as well. So I feel like Invictus Gaming have a lot of option in terms of this second ban phase, or pick phase, excuse me. And my guess is what Vici Gaming is going to go in terms of support for the anti-mage. So far you have Shadow Demon, which basically you have constructed an unkillable lane. Shadow Demon is going to stay very far back. Anti-mage, doesn't matter if he gets initiated or not, he's going to get Disrupt and blink immediately out of that one. And it's going to be a silencer. And this is a very, very smart counter pick against Batrider. Batrider a lot of times like to blink in and like to Flaming Lasso initiation. He blinks in, you silence, and he's suddenly completely out of position at his own will, and you just collapse on him quick. And that's a free kill. So I'm not too sure how much of that we're going to be seeing, but also it's a great pickup against Silencer. It's a great pickup against a lot of Vici Gaming support options now. And it's going to be so tough for them. What do you do here?
I guess the one question is it a support silencer or is it going to be a solo? They can certainly send that silencer solo mid. Even against a hero like Batrider, as long as he stays back and just harasses him safely, should be okay. Might not dominate the lane. And you could send Queen of Pain mid. Or it could be a support silencer, which frankly, in my experience, has not worked. But if any team from casting, I would say like 10, 15 games of support silencer, I've maybe seen him win 2 or 3. At least anecdotally, I haven't seen him be very successful. But we'll see what Invictus Gaming look to do with this pick. I also want to point out something that's interesting and I think smart by Invictus Gaming. They gave away the Batrider and immediately they picked up a secondary source of DPS. It's not just a lifestealer, it's also a Queen of Pain. Even as a support silencer, packs a decent punch through the laning stage, and especially too does Leshrac. So I think all things considered, Vici Gaming is prepared for the last one, and they'll end it with a third core. They'll pick up the Dragonite. That puts Silencer into the support role. I'm interested to see how this trialing goes.
Vici Gaming picked up Sand King not really because they wanted it, but they're more fearful of the Burrow Strike into Epicenter channel and Global on top of that combo, which basically means that it's going to be a free channel on top without the Blink Dagger from a support silencer. So I don't think Vici Gaming wanted Sand King as a support, but they're forced to pick it up because of the aforementioned combo. Dragonite's going to be the kind of the replacement to Lone Druid, if you will, giving you a little bit of tank in front, but more importantly, with the level 1 Elder Form Dragon, you get a ton of pushing power, and he doesn't really care if he gets initiated upon by Batrider or Sand King. He is going to be tanky enough, which allow Lifestealer, which allows Silencer to really give you the DPS necessary. So Vici Gaming has one more pick. I think they need their offlane right here if Batrider isn't going to be their offlane. This pick is going to say a lot in terms of how they want to be laned this.
I just don't really see how they win the tri-lane. Shadow Demon, Anti-Mage, Sand King against... Oh, they'll go for a Templar Assassin. And I like this a lot because I feel at least one of their 2 solo lanes has to snowball. They can't break even because I just don't see any way in hell that Vici Gaming should win this tri-lane against IG. Assuming it's a 3-on-3, which really looks to be the draft for IG. Like you mentioned, probably a Dragon Knight mid, a Queen of Pain safe lane, and then an aggressive tri-lane. And if they go that route, I think this is what Vici Gaming needs. They need a snowball hero like a Batrider or a Templar Assassin to have a hot start. And getting that second source of damage as well as that second hero that can start snowballing, this gives them a shot even if the tri-lane doesn't go well, which frankly, at best Vici Gaming doesn't die, but I don't expect them to get much farm or any kills in this lane.
All right, real fast. I want you to take some quick guesses here. Do you think Bat Rider is going to be going mid or out the off lane? And if Templar Assassin is going to be going mid on the off lane for Vici Gaming, because I imagine it's going to be some 1v1 matchup either case. And of course, for the IG side, it's going to be DK and Queen of Pain. Who do you think has a better matchup? Let's say if it's Queen.
It's gotta be the TA mid, to be honest, because the Dragon Knight's not likely to go safe lane. He's gonna get destroyed by a Bat Rider there. I guess he would do okay against the Templar Assassin if he tower hugs, but you don't expect the TA to go off lane, and frankly, Vici Gaming should expect the Dragon Knight mid, and that's a melee hero that Templar Assassin can dominate. Maybe IG try to pull a shenanigan, a fast one, and mix up the lanes, but if I'm Vici Gaming, I expect IG to play this standard and just basically count on their teamwork, their talent, and their experience to pull them through, rather. IG's not a team that has to get gimmicky for me, so I think they'll do the obvious thing, which is Dragon Knight solo mid, try to bottle Crow a lot, and that's a matchup that, if Templar Assassin is played properly, she can really dominate the lane.
Yeah, the way I see it, it doesn't matter where Bat Rider goes. It doesn't matter where Templar Assassin go. Both those heroes will dominate Dragon Knight, no matter what lane he is in. I guess he has a little bit of a better advantage on the mid lane. You can work with the hill, get that 25% miss chance to your advantage, but it doesn't matter where he goes. I feel like he will get dominated. So Zoe's going to have a tough time. He is going to be starting to get a little bit pulled here with the Tango and be rushing for a quick bottle. It seems like it is, like predicted, going to be a Lifestealer offensive trialing. So let's quickly introduce the players. So we're going to have YYF playing the Lifestealer. We're going to have Leshrac being handled by Faith. Chuan's going to be handling the support silencer. Zoe on the solo mid Dragon Knight. And last but not least, we're going to see 430 so far seemingly going to the safe lane Queen of Pain. Expected to go against a Bat Rider because there is that magic stick. Yeah,
I think good anticipation by IG. If fairly obvious lanes for them, these are sort of the safe, stable choices. And on the other side, we've got the only team that's 2-0 right now in the Dota 2 Super League. There really only could be one based on the way matches are played, but they come into this match 2-0. For the moment, #1 in their group. Fenrir on the Sand King. ZSMJ handling the anti-mage. FY is going to start off a huge level 1 clash. YYF charges in. Now backs off. He took open wounds. A burrow straight connects on Faith. Now Faith on the run. Not dead yet. ZSMJ giving chase. Has Blink. Not using it just yet. Patience from him. Gonna back off. He got stunned. Now he might go down. Split Earth as well. ZSMJ has overextended, and it's a delicious snack for his former teammates. They feast on his corpse, and he's back to the fountain before the creeps even spawn. So, to finish introducing Vici Gaming, we have FY handling the Shadow Demon. CTY, the solo mid sensation, the youngster, gonna be handling that Templar Assassin. And last but not least, XTT on the Bat Rider. So off the bat, not the start ZSMJ was hoping for.
That was one of the most awkward first blood in the highest level of game I've ever seen in a long while. And generally, that's almost a pub moment where you just run in, suddenly you notice your team is not there anymore. And you're like, team? And suddenly you have Blink, but they stun you and they kill you. So maybe miscommunication from Vici Gaming, the nerve getting to them. But again, they have the lane advantage, at least on the mid and bottom. So they should dominate those lanes if individual skill don't just get outshined. And the really X factor is how is this trialing versus trialing going to match up here? And like you said, I think it just favors the Invictus Gaming side.
Well, certainly when you get the first blood, but I would say even without it, IG, they have 2 ranged heroes. They can spam and harass much more easily. Lifestealer just brings more to the early clashes than an Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, if you're running, could do decent damage with Mana Burn, as well as just a Blink auto-attack chase combo, but when it's a head-on-head clash, he's going to be the one who backs off first. So I definitely favor them there. I think 430, expecting the Bat Rider in the offlane and starting with the Magic Stick, will actually have a pretty decent time if he plays it correctly. And so far, so good. XTT hasn't rushed boots. He'll be farming those as soon as possible. 430 struggling a bit in terms of last hitting, but he can hug the tower. He probably shouldn't die unless he overextends once XTT gets boots, which I imagine he'll be rushing off the bat. So I think they could do okay bottom, but yeah, mid lane going to be very hard for Zhou. 6-2 to start, but you got to figure once CTY hits level 5, it's going to get much harder for him.
Maybe just level 3. Second level of that refraction really will allow her to kind of zone Zoe out of lane, which is exactly what CTY is doing. He completely understands this matchup, and is completely abusing this matchup. So I don't want to spend too much time here. I imagine Zoe won't die, but he's not going to be able to keep up farm to the Templar Assassin. But credit to him so far, though. He's completely even in a lane that he should not be even in. So credit to Zoe, doing well so far.
Wisely, they're sending Fenrir out to scout, trying to get maybe a neutral pull going. It's going to be thoroughly denied by IG. They'll deploy a sentry ward. They'll do a bit of dewarding. And if Vici Gaming has the balls to go for this pull, I don't really see them actually farming that pull. I feel it's the Shrek who's going to claim most of it. While YYF is left in the lane, he's already level 3. FY picks up an Invisor, and he's going to wander up top. And in fact, that Sentry Ward is going to spot him right now. He just walked over. It looks like, oh, a ping comes out. I think they know, Lumi. Look at Tron's map awareness.
Yeah, that ping is more important for Zoe in the mid lane. Now you can see that he sees a ping, he immediately goes in lane, whereas before he was hiding next to his tower. He doesn't know where that Shadow Demon is, so he just had to play safe. And FY trying to steal a creep here and there, not going to really get it off. And here comes Life, so they're trying to zone him out. And right now, like you said, the Vici Gaming trialing is losing. Anti-Mage got 9 CS though, so he's actually doing okay, trading at least a parity with that Lifestealer.
The one issue with picking the Silencer, he gives you a big punch once he hits level 6. He can harass a lot in the lane. He's not really the best killing support unless you're just taking too much harassment. And so far, ZSMJ being pulled a lot of regen early seems to be okay. I'm turning my attention back towards mid because CTY is starting to accelerate. He wasn't farming well the first few levels, which is somewhat expected from a Templar Assassin, but now having 2 points of refraction as well as access to his side blades, he's starting to accelerate. He's 15-3. Once he hits level 5, gets his phase boots, his traps online at 6, that's where things get tough for this Dragon Knight. You will hit level 6 and be able to kind of drive him back with the range form as well as the Poison Sting, but it's still not an easy matchup for Zhou, and I think he's doing a great job so far, but all things considered, I expect CTY to just slowly pull ahead in this lane as it continues.
I mean, once CTY hits level 6 and he has like 2 or 3 traps literally on that mid lane, what do you actually do as a melee here on the mid? Do you just abandon it? Because suddenly you walk into it, you're going to take a trap, you're going to take a couple of Mail Strikes, and you might just be flat out dead if there isn't TP support. So I'm going to be looking forward to see how IG and Zoe handle this lane, because he shouldn't be handling that lane. But again, how's the bot lane doing here? We see a lot of harass going back and forth here. 430 in terms of CS, he's doing quite alright. He's actually keeping it with a Bat Rider. In fact, he's actually overtaking the Bat Rider.
He's winning the lane, and it's because he has burned through a lot of his regen, but he's got the bottle now, which means he should be absolutely fine, and it's because he started with that Magic Stick. He predicted the Bat Rider here. Much easier to deal with the Bat Rider. At level 1, he wants to spam Napalm and harass you back. Instead, he just ended up feeding Ferrari a bunch of stick charges, and really there's nothing that XTT could have done differently except juke Ferrari out in terms of what lanes they played, but they chose to go with these lanes. Understandable with the TA, and 430 doing really well in a matchup that can often give heroes trouble. Yep. Even someone like Queen of Pain.
I mean, Queen of Pain, I don't think she should die. She's going to keep her stick charges, now actually going for power treads. So the harass is going to be later on XCT. And what is XCT not well, she's not going to napalm you. But back on the top lane, you said there's going to be the nuke heavy lane. Well, that happened. Open Wind, Split Earth, and of course, couple more last words for the kill.
Yeah, I didn't get a death notification or any sort of sound, so I was just watching it like, there's a hero dying here, but it doesn't really feel like it. But in the fact that Sandcane does go down, and I mean, that's the thing. Sandcane is often very elusive, but once you get, if you get open wounds and then the Split Earth comes through, you can't necessarily dodge it because you're just so slow, it's easy to bring you down. And well, ZSMJ not farming all that well, 10-0, and I just don't see it changing. I mean, it was kind of obvious early on in the draft that they were going to struggle to get him farm in the laning stage. So it really just comes down to the Bat Rider and the Templar Assassin. What can Vici Gaming make happen with these two? Because frankly, their support's probably not going to be able to do much. They'll smoke. They're level 2 and 3, no boots on either. Really struggling and desperate to make something happen because they know they can't do it top. ZSMJ, open wounds, will blink away. YYF already phase boots online. Frankly, Luby, they could leave him alone top if they wanted and just start ganking as well.
Well, you can see that Zoe playing ultra defensive on the mid lane. Trap number 1 and 2 can pop. They pop one right now. It's going to be defensive or offensive disruption. Traps on top. Burrow strike through. And look at these TPs are teleporting it right now. And looks like Zoe is going to be fine. I think one of those illusions took a last one.
430.
Oh, FY is going to get blown up by the 430 TP support. CTY is going to dodge a Mail Strike, but going back to my point, what will Invictus Gaming do when there's traps literally on the map? Teleport scrolls from both support and 430 comes around and get a return kill. And what do you do as Vici Gaming support now? You just blew through a smoke, you didn't get a successful gank, ZSMJ is not farming well, and Invictus Gaming is on their path to control this early game like they always do. So playing really well is Invictus Gaming right now.
They now lead by about 2,000 gold and 750 experience. Notch a bunch of kills to their belt. 3-0 is the score. 430, he'll continue to farm on the bottom lane, doing reasonably well, all things considered. The Bat Rider not actually out farming him. XTT, despite that rotation for 430, still behind in the farm more. He does have his lasso. We'll see a rotation towards the bottom lane from FY, but it's a level 2 Shadow Demon with no boots. This is basically desperation for Vici Gaming to go for 2 ganks this early. They have to make something happen, and they might do it now.
Beautiful.
430 caught out. First the flame break into the lasso. He will be brought down. That was all XTT. The supports, honestly, just kind of showing up, pressing a button, but really great Batrider play. I still don't feel it's enough, but it's a start.
It's definitely a start. They got a kill on Queen of Pain when her ultimate's down, so it's not exactly the most meaningful kill, but beautiful flame break into immediate flaming lasso. There was just no kind of hiccup in between time. And I guess the support showing up there, getting some very important assist kill, EXP and gold. But looks like they're going to rotate back mid.
Oh, I don't know about this.
Look at this tower. The trap's going to fall through, and they got to focus on Faith. But Faith, oh, they're going to focus on Dragon. I'm missing on the Burrow Strike, and now FY in big trouble. FY's going to be dead. The counter gank not really helping out. They want Zoe dead, but Zoe's actually moving so damn quickly with that power trip. He's going to be fine as well. This mid lane, I guess Dragon Knight's not going to farm well, but he is going to be so tanky. He is the immobile machine here. And he's still farming away with Flame Breath.
A little miscommunication there for Vici Gaming. The Shadow Demon actually disrupted, and then the Sand Kid immediately went for the stun. Fenrir, as well as FY, not quite on the same page there. That could have been a 2-hero Burrow Strike and potentially 2 kills. If they got that extra stun, I think it would have been. But they only stun 1. They do pick up a kill. They force a rotation from Invictus Gaming. But Vici Gaming, first, yes, ZSMJ, frankly, tried a 1v4 at level 1, gives up a first blood. And now not the best coordination from their supports. Vici Gaming, I think it's like you said, just showing a bit of nerves. They are playing against the Titans in Invictus Gaming, and it seems to be showing here.
Top lane YYF blows a rage. You gotta be careful because FY could just open up with the disruption, and when the shields are down, you know, YYF is somewhat killable. But with that said, he has face boots, so maybe not. He's gonna just basically get away. But back in the mid lane, you see IG is applying so much pressure. A second Dragon Form and an Edict. They're gonna blow away this tower. CTY trying to go for the deny, not gonna find it there. So tier 1 now tower goes down, and that's gonna free up the roaming and ganking support. That is the Leshrac, that is the Queen of Pain. So if you're Vici Gaming, you gotta be careful. Mid lane though, Threv's gonna hit, and where is the? Oh, what a damage output! He can't even pop his refraction. It's just complete chain stun. And the instant initiation power of Dragon Knight coming through there.
Again, I want to point out, the supports for Vici Gaming just can't do anything. FY's level 3, he only has level 1 Shadow Poison, he can't stop a push. Sand King just got his big boots, just hit level 5. This is not a hero that can stop pushes. This is a hero that can start fights, and unfortunately, not able to get in range to do it. The early struggles for those supports in the tri-lane, the effects are still being felt now. You compare that to the supports of Invictus Gaming, we're looking at a Leshrac with boots, a full set of stick charges, a Smoke who's been buying tons of Sentry Wards, then you look at Chuan, who's now sitting on 600 gold, and more importantly, is finding farming levels. He'll have his level 6 soon. Vici Gaming isn't doing too badly considering how the game started, but frankly, the supports just can't offer much right now. Later on, certainly they could, but for the time being, it's just all about Chuan and Faith bringing more to the fights, and they're gonna go top. Right now, the global silence is there. Just what they need, just what the doctor ordered to bring ZSMJ down. They're feasted on him again. YYF, his patented lifestealer, drums now complete, 10 minutes in. There is good news, though, for Vici Gaming. They've got a Blink Dagger for XTT, and he really needs to make something happen quick with this.
I mean, this is when Invictus Gaming want to group up anyway, so the Blink Dagger is nice in terms of a single pickoff, and he might find one on Queen of Pain, but for the most part, they're not going to stop a push with the Blink. They're not really going to initiate and find too many kind of favorable trades with this Blink, so it's an early Blink, and I want to quote the G League Finals where Brax got a 6-minute Blink, and looks like they're going to try to initiate on the bot lane here. Again, it's going to be 430 that's going to be taking it. Burrow Strike, Milk Strike, a ton of right clicks, and they're going to get that kill, but IG
gets a tower. They're gonna get a tier 1
like,
top.
It's whatever. They got a kill on Queen of Pain.
It's really the best Vici Gaming could hope for right now. They did not, again, they didn't pick supports that can 5-man effectively, and they also didn't get solos that can, and the reason is IG banned most of those. The Magnus, the Darkseer, remember, these were all banned out, and as a result, IG able to exploit their superior level of stuns and spammable team fight to take engagements. And now YYF with his drums complete, his phase boots complete. This is a point in time where Lifestealer becomes a big, scary beast, and he'll be in the front lines along with the Dragon Knight. You want 1 tank, Lumi? You get 2. IG, they'll bear down the bottom lane. They don't have global silence, but I don't really think they need it to take team fights. It's much more of a, you know, use it to get a kill here or there, and otherwise, later on, it'll be essential for team fights, but for the time being, IG, they're confident to go for a tier 1 bottom.
Yeah, they would need it if Flaming Lasso's up, but because they use it on Queen of Pain, it's going to be down for a bit, and both Ultimate's going to be coming out back on relatively the same time, so they would have it, and that's where kind of silencer gets the, I guess, a better jump if regard. YYF is just not done yet. He's up. Oh, he's gonna be going into your armlet build. I was so sure that he's gonna be going for that Sage and Yasha where he loves so much, but seems like he wants a little bit more tank.
He gets the armlet first, then he goes back for the Sage and Yasha.
Okay, so just a ton of mid early game item. Okay, I have not seen the armlet first. Normally he goes for like a Yasha first or a Sage first and then going back to armlet. I guess he's just tossing this one up. And you can see Finra on the side, he's just getting ready. He's like, guys, I'm ready to initiate.
Reminds me of some of those Evil Geniuses games in the Western qualifiers for the International 2013 where they just kept on hiding in the tree line, hoping and sort of praying for the enemy team to overextend. But IG, a team that doesn't overextend too often, they won't find the pickoff there. In the end, it's just more wasted time for Vici Gaming. They're now sitting on a level 5 Shadow Demon, and you compare him, well, to his counterpart, the Leshrax, level 6 on Faith, Arcane boots up, now with 2 tier 1s to their name. I don't know, if you're Vici Gaming, what is the plan right now? Because ZSMJ is not farming a Battle Fury for a very long time. He's only sitting at 3k net worth. What do you do, Lumi? You've gone for treads. Oh, Global Silence deployed top lane. They want to kill him off again, and it looks like they might. He's low, but he's not dead yet. Yes, he is. Infest enough to finish the kill along with some additional damage from Chuan. Looks like the last word damage kicked in there at the last second. And now smoke bottom lane. Vici Gaming, they're out for blood, and they'll find it here. They'll find a delicious Centaur. Will Shrek caught out, burrow strike through, and brought down. So they are getting the trades, and I think this is what Vici Gaming has to go for. But the problem is, ZSMJ just can't die. This is a 3 carry lineup, and he needs to be fat as hell to take this later on.
Well, when you were asking me what they need to do, I almost actually said, well, here comes a TP. I'll talk about that later. It's going to be a lifesteal, and that's going to force everybody to run away. Purge going to be used. Finra's going to back off. Shadow Strike's going to come through against FY. He's going to TP out. All things considered, it looks like FY is going to survive. Finra's going to try to at least use a no magic stick. No Burrow Strike mana. He is actually going to go down to, I imagine, Chuan? No, yeah, Chuan actually picks up the kill. So, when you were asking me what do they need to do, I was going to say ZSMJ dying there is okay because he tanked the global, and that will allow your Bat Rider to set up some offense, which they... looks like a little fight breaking out here, and looks like Zoe is going to go down. Maybe.
No lasso right now. No lasso. Flame break is there.
Yeah, they are going to bring him down. Looks like ZSMJ KS with vengeance. Alright, so Global's down. That allows your Bat Rider and your entire team, your Burrow Strike into Epicenter combo, whatever you want to do, that gives it a go. You have a lot of time to do it. So they immediately win for a bot gank. And normally you say, alright, we get a tier 1 tower because we just killed them under a tier 1 tower. Invictus Gaming immediately teleports in with Lifestealer. That forces everybody back. So I thought it was very smart for Vici Gaming to go for IG's towers once the global shield is down, but IG is just too quick on the respawn. So that slight opening, the slight hole that IG had, it was completely taken away in a second. So IG is playing some world-class Dota right now.
Well, they're ahead, but they haven't won this one yet, and they now lead by 7,500 gold, only 1,000 experience. That's the good news for Vici Gaming. They're keeping up in terms of levels. The bad news is ZSMJ, despite being pulled in his lane early, despite getting as much support as what his team could muster, is forced to go Vitality Booster, which I don't even mind too much, since, frankly, he's going to have to fight soon, and he knows it. He's not farming a Battle Fury at 22 minutes and winning this game first team against IG. Problem is, well, an anti-mage with the Vitality Booster isn't really going to be that survivable against a hero like a Lifestealer. With an armlet, drums, and phase, he will kill you in 6 or 7 hits anyway, and the stuns are there to keep him down if they catch him. They'll go for an Infest Bomb now. 430 infested up, blinks in, jumps on XTT. The Global's here, and they're going to make the Initiator into a pile of bat goo. An easy kill for IG, and what do you know? They get a kill, they find a tower too. And there's really no trade in sight for Vici Gaming.
You know how, like, a lot of times you see Magnus using his early game RP for a solo pickoff? You don't actually think of the same thing as we see Silencer maybe being forced off the lane here. Lifestealer teleports in. ZSMJ is going to be trading a couple of hits here, now being forced to blink away as YY pops that rage here. Ah, here comes Queen of Pain! ZSMJ's blink is coming off cooldown and should be okay. It's going to TP out. As similar as Magnus is finding solo kill with that RP, that's exactly what they're doing with a Global Silence, which is not an ultimate that you expect to have a similar effect, but that was 2 or 3 global used for anti-mage, and that's another global used against Bat Rider in the mid lane. solo pickoff with Global, and it's so far working perfectly.
Well, again, it's up to ZSMJ to carry this one. You have a Templar Assassin for CTY who's farming well, 108 CS, but hasn't snowballed in terms of kills. He's 1-1 and 2. He's not really far ahead in levels. He isn't controlling the map. It's actually his team who's on the back foot, and it's not that it's necessarily CTY's fault, but if he's not snowballing, he won't do much against IG later on. They have enough stuns, they'll have an Orchid soon, and they have Edict. So, frankly, Refraction does nothing for you, and frankly, TA's not going to do much in a 5-on-5 clash unless they get a pick off with Batrider. If they do, then maybe CTY can run rampant, but most likely that's not going to turn out to be the case. So right now, IG, they'll group up as 4 top. Zhou still farming mid. He's up onto 2k gold, and they're looking at a tier 2 top. I just think strategically for Vici Gaming, they got to do something to shake up the equilibrium of this game. Maybe you try and sneak a Roche. Maybe you try and smoke gank and catch a crucial target and take a tower off of that. They've been taking kills, but they haven't been taking towers, and that's why they find themselves in an 8k gold deficit and only a 2k experience deficit. It doesn't seem so bad, but that amount of items, very hard to fight against.
Well, they're gonna try bottom right, but Chuan is already in position. Trap does not see him. Trap has a very low side range. Chuan getting in position to start defending. He runs on top of that trap. I think they're actually... Chuan's like baiting hard. He wants to get jumped upon. Tower is gonna get destroyed, but here comes the collapse. It's gonna be 430 jumping. Sonic Wave not on ready just yet, but everybody on the Vici Gaming is already dead. Burrow Strike and Global, so no channel for you. That's gonna be another person. That ZSMJ is on the run. He'll blink south. He's gonna be running on top of Trap, but there is a lucky haste stream for him to snap. I guess that was the best thing that they could have hoped for Vici Gaming. They lost 2 here, but they at least got a tier 1 out of that trade. And also, more importantly, Global's down for a long time. So I think they're going to heal up, go back, and XTT is going to have to find some very crucial ganks right now.
Yeah, they do have Lasso. I don't know how much Lasso does for you. Not when 430 is about to get his Orchid if it isn't already on the way. Well, not yet, but he'll have it soon. Once he gets Orchid, you don't even need Global to counter-initiate against a Batrider. You just Orchid him. I've seen a player like Ferrari do that plenty of time. Instant reactions, no chance for a Batrider to even cast his Lasso, even if he blinks it first. So 430, playing on land, should have the reactions needed to really neuter this Batrider. And if it's not Batrider starting the fights, who is it? They just don't have anyone else who can do it. Maybe, just maybe a Templar Assassin when she gets a BKB, but that's a long way off for CTY. Only 400 gold to his name. If he had the towers, he would have it now, but without it, they're really struggling. And across the board, IG, it's not enough to kill one of their heroes. You need to kill 2 or 3, and frankly, I don't see Vici Gaming having the damage to do it. They'll have to continue to dodge fights, Lumi, but while they're busy dodging fights, IG, they'll let Global cool down, and they'll go for another tier 2.
Well, ZSMJ will have a Brosor his name now. The race to the Battle Fury, I guess race is the wrong word here. More of a crawl to the Battle Fury is starting, and ZSMJ doesn't have too much time. Top lane though, they're jumping on CTY, but in fact, Zoe may be a little bit trouble. He magic sticks up, he magic wands up, and YYF comes in. He's focusing on CTY. CTY is melding, and he's actually trying to fight back against 430, but not gonna get the kill as the entire IG team's there. CTY still fighting on, but he's gonna go down eventually. Sonic Wave's gonna come, he's gonna get a kill on Batrider. Looks like Faith has went down, but everybody on Vici Gaming just melting to the insane AoE damage of IG. Not only is IG throwing out the deeps, they're also very tanky. Zoe got initiated on and came out of Team 5 with more HP than it started, as well as a 10 charge magic stick. I don't know how he survived through that one, but hey.
It's only the Templar Assassin who can actually fight. She's the only one that does enough damage to win them a fight right now, and as soon as she died, the fight was over, and that's really what we saw there. The other thing is you have to question Vici Gaming trying to take a fight at the tier 1 when it's still online for IG. Of course they're going to teleport in. They've been doing it from level 3. They've been doing it from 5 minutes. They're certainly going to do it at 21 minutes in. This is a team that never really gets caught without TP, so you can sense why Vici Gaming wants to go for that fight. They want to make something happen. They know they're not really pulling ahead or winning the game with the pace and sort of the momentum that it had already, but that was just a fight that taking it was a very low percentage play to actually come out on top there with the tier 1 online. And in the end, like you said, IG's tanky, and the other side of the coin is Vici Gaming. They only have one hero that does big damage. That's CTY, and CTY can be dealt with by this lineup that IG have.
Yeah, CTY needs to farm a ton, and as a Templar Assassin, she's actually a pretty decent farmer. If you line up the creeps just right, you can blow through a creep wave very quickly, and somehow she's got to dodge the gank, you got to protect your tower, and still find farm, which is an extremely tall order. I'd like to see CTY drop a couple of traps in front of the towers as well. I feel like that's one of the ways you can maybe slow them down as they're jumping on you.
It won't help you now, because 430's got a gem, a 21-minute gem, so scratch the traps. They ain't going to do nothing.
Well,
Dire's top tower.
That's
I'm
definitely a
gonna
double
go think what
negative.
they can do, and I'm not sure what they can do right now.
I wanted that to be a double negative. It has more impact that way. Screw you, English teachers. But anyway, IG, they take a tier 2 on a post, and frankly, for Vici Gaming, what can they do? They can't take a fight with this many items up on IG, but they also can't really avoid a fight for much longer because IG, with a Sanji Yasha now complete on YYF, that's filthy farm. If you look at his net worth, 10.5k net worth in an aggressive tri-lane lifestealer, and we're only 22 minutes in, and he's ahead of the enemy Templar Assassin by almost 2k when CTY has only one less CS. And frankly, it's just because he's 2-0-9. He's been involved in tons of fights. He's taken down towers and IG. With this level of item advantage, you can go Roche. They have a mech up on Chuan. I just don't really see Vici Gaming contesting it. With this gem as well, it'll be much safer. Normally against Batrider, you wouldn't want to take a Roche fight like this without having a hero 2 dead, but IG are so far ahead, they can easily do it.
I just see IG play Dota, and it just doesn't feel like any type of Dota I've ever seen. It's just completely pictureless mistake, or flawlessly mistake-free, whatever you...
Mistake-free, flawless, there you go.
Thank you. Thank you, IG. I mean, LD. I can't speak English today.
Thank you for the compliment. We'll see 430 actually pick up the Queen, the Aegis. Now, you're infecting me, Lumi. Now I'm calling the Queen of Fate Aegis. But 430 will pick it up. He's got a double damager in it. If they want to go break the base, with a Lifestealer and a Dragon Knight, you really can chip it away fairly safely. Courier doing a bit of cute scouting, maybe hoping to spot a teleport scroll or something like that on the ground. Any bit of economic boon that Vici Gaming could claim would be to their benefit, but frankly, Lumi, I don't see how they recover from this. That next push is coming in the next 4 to 5 minutes, at most, if not in the next 2 to 3. And how do you defend? They have basically zero counter push, just Flame Break and Shadow Poison, and that ain't gonna cut it against these tanky heroes.
So I'm gonna call it right now that if Vici Gaming could hold the next push, and that's a big if, because that's a mech already up when Vici Gaming doesn't have a mech. That's already an Aegis and a ton of extra items. But if Vici Gaming somehow hold, they're right back in this game, because ZSMJ...
I wouldn't say that. I would say if they hold and they win 2 fights, then they're back in this game.
I'm completely serious when I say if they hold it right back in the game, because when you hold, not only you get like 2,000 gold off the kills, you also get a ton of farming time. ZSMJ would have his Battle Fury completed if they hold. And you give ZSMJ 2 minutes with a Battle Fury on anti-mage, I mean, we've seen what happens in the past.
Contrary to the legends, the creeps only spawn at the same rate, even for ZSMJ. So, I gotta disagree with you, Lumi. I agree with you that it will be a big tie turner if they can hold, but I wouldn't say they're right back in the game. He gets the Battle Fury. That's going to be like a 27-minute Battle Fury with a Vitality Booster and Treads, which is, frankly, horrendous farm. Not to criticize ZSMJ personally, but just when you have an Anti-Mage and a Protected Tri-Lane and you pull him at level 1, you expect a lot more from him by this point in the game. So, I agree they're more in the game, but I can't really say that they're right back in it just because they win that one fight.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think they will win that one fight. So
it's probably a moot point anyway.
Yeah, we'll leave it at dairy crafting whether you think they're right back, but they're not gonna win that one fight unless IG just completely kind of mess things up. Surprised to see that Zoe actually level up his dragon form simply because they're still pushing a tier 3 tower, and I guess the level 1 dragon's a little bit more helpful, but hey, it's AoE damage. You don't really need that tiny bit of extra damage. You're still gonna siege down the tower regardless. The mech's gonna get employed a little bit earlier than expected, but they're still going to slowly siege it. They're saying, hey, XCD, jump in. We dare you. We got global up.
They've got BKB on CTY. Maybe, just maybe, this is the item to help them take this fight, but it still feels like a very tall order even with that. And it's going to be spotted out, I believe, any second. It is daytime, so CTY hasn't showed it yet, but is about to if he hasn't already. Blink in for 430. YYF pops out. Not really the best engagement. And now he's going to get pulled back into the tier 4s. This is the perfect way to start the fight for Invictus Gaming. 430 on the run, able to live through it all. Now Show, man up from the big dragon. Finds one. They want more. FY, can he find a kill? ZSMJ does pick up a Leshrac. Now YYF says, haha, I'm a big bad ghoul, and I ain't going to go down that easy. ZSMJ on the run. Gets Dragon Tailed, and oh boy, does he melt. That was the perfect initiation for Vici Gaming. They catch YYF, they bait out the Infest Bomb, it does nothing, and YYF gets pulled into the tier 4s, and then they still lose the fight 3-1, and they lose Rax. That's GG.
That is absolutely GG. I mean, like you said, it was a picture-perfect start for Vici Gaming, but they still don't win that fight, and that just goes to me how much certain I believe that IG would not lose that pick push, because they just have the level and item advantage. There were 3 towers focusing on YYF, 2 tier 4, 1 tier 3, and it just doesn't matter. How is he so tanky?
It's not even fair. Honestly, this is the power of the Lifestealer, and IG, I feel more than almost any other team knows how to use this hero correctly. They run aggressive lanes with him. If they give him farm in the safe lane, it's only for the first 10 to 15 minutes. Much like Team Liquid when they play TC on the Lifestealer, you don't sit back and play this hero as a one position. They'll jump in on Chuan now. There is no global. He may go down, but YYF says, let's fight, guys. I'm ready. Meanwhile, a disruption well placed by Zhou. A good fight for Vici Gaming by all accounts, but will it be enough? Zhou on the run? Maybe it will. IG potentially overconfident and overextending. They'll give up 2 kills on their supports, but in the backlines, it is 430, who cleans up 2 of his own. When it's all said and done, they keep their 3 cores alive. Frankly, that was IG just being a little cocky to take that fight with no global, but they did have Aegis, and in the end, well, they trade 2 for 2. Not a horrible trade.
I want to say that's the first clear mistake that IG has made, and a big mistake. They still came even as 2-2. I call it a mistake because it now gives Vici Gaming a ton of time. Well, I say a ton, but it's really more like a minute of time for them to get them off their back. Vici Gaming now have a little bit of room to breathe, and ZSMJ should not be farming these 20 gold creeps because they give nothing.
I just saw him miss the last hit, Lumi. I don't know. The legend might die here. At least in game 1, it's not looking so good for ZSMJ. Like you said, that lane gives him reduced gold. That's something he really needs. We will see the Aegis expire right now for 430. I think he actually might have died to the neutrals intentionally just to get... I'm not sure if he's low enough, but either that or I'm having some sound bugs. Either way, he'll come back to life. Zhou will pick up a regen rune. And they now have double Reaver. So I want to go back to the draft. If we recall correctly, the draft began with some early bans of Darkseer and Magnus. And you can really see why now. With those heroes out of the pool, what does Vici Gaming really have to defend? If they had a big AoE controller like that, if the fear of an RP or a vacuum wall was in IG's minds, then maybe they would have been more reluctant to push. Maybe, just maybe, ZSMJ gets more time to farm, but banning those heroes out and then also picking and building very tanky frontline heroes in the Dragon Knight and the Lifestealer, this is how you break a base. This is basically breaking the base 101 from IG. Yeah,
I mean, there were heroes like Puck in the pool, but I haven't seen CTY play Puck. I'm not sure if that's one that's there. I heard somebody pop BKB.
Yeah. 430 doesn't need it, apparently. I guess a misclick there.
Hey man, you just get it for the 10 strength, 24 damage. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
The stats aren't bad, but that's not why you get it.
Well, they don't know BKB's down, so, you know.
Maybe it's 430 with the case of the nerves here today. You know, world champion and all that. Well, even he gets nervous. Maybe his very own Zhao Ji is in the audience.
You know, I actually want to talk a little bit about Compendium because I kind of thought about the other day. You know, Compendium's cool in terms of increasing the prize pool for the international, all that stuff. You know that what it really means? It just means that IG's going to win more money. Like, that's how I see it. And I'm pretty sure they're laughing every day as they're seeing that the 2 million counter gets higher and higher. They're like, yep, more money in our pockets. Am I wrong when I say that?
If they play like the way they've been playing over the past 4 months, probably not, but who knows. Maybe Zhou will get deathly ill. Maybe YYF will retire from Dota to go back to the gas station where he was working before he was discovered by 2009. You never know, Lumi, but if they play like this, yeah, they're probably gonna win a pretty petty or two. I think that's safe to say. They'll now look to push the base. The Rax is under assault in a matter of seconds as the tower slowly being brought down. Actually, not so slowly by Zhou with that Heart of Tarask. And who do you really go on now? They'll try to deny the tower. Everything possible being done. Blink, Global, and the Creed of Pain ultimate. It all flies out in a flurry, and now it's CTY driven way the hell back. How do you kill this Dragon Knight? How do you kill this Lifestealer? They have an ungodly amount of HP right now. And Zhou is tanking. He'll be dragged in to the tier 3. He's even got a Soul Catcher. That's what you need to bring him down, but he's still alive. Through it all, he'll live, and now YYF on an absolute rampage. They want more, they'll get more. A triple kill for 430. The big bad bruisers doing most of the heavy lifting. 430, the cleanup crew. He'll find 3, 22-9. GG indeed. Vici Gaming get absolutely massacred in game 1 of this best of 3. This game, it probably was all but over at the 10 to 12 minute mark, if not sooner.
I saw ZSMJ give up that first one. I was like, yep, this game won't look good. I don't know, man. I don't know. That was not world-class play by ZSMJ, but it's just IG. You could fill Vici Gaming with Tongfu here, with LG China, with like any other Chinese team, and I would not be surprised if we see a game just like this.
They've certainly made really amazing and talented teams look silly before. They'll do it again. But the good news for Vici Gaming, they're 2-0 in the group. They've lost their first match of the Dota 2 Super League, but they're not out of it yet. They have a chance to strike back here, at least take a game off of Invictus Gaming, but the big boys are in the house. And IG, they look as beastly as ever. They lead this best of 3, 1-0. Today's a doubleheader for the Dota 2 Super League, and the first part of that doubleheader will continue with IG leading the series 1-0 right after this. Stay tuned.